Hi Taurus, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we are actually doing the monthly readings. So looking ahead at February, seeing what is in store for you. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do really appreciate that, especially being such a small channel. It really does help make a huge difference. So thank you. This week I have the Cosmic Messages Oracle. Today I am also using the Soul's Journey lesson cards. The Lenormand deck I have is the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. And I'm also using the Sweet Love Tea Oracle cards as well. Okay, getting into it for you, Taurus. Okay, Taurus. Overview affirmation message for Taurus for February 2025. What's going on for you for February 2025? Okay. I do actually have two that have come up for you here, Taurus. Look around and find some signs. The universe is speaking to you. I feel like it's actually directly related to this second card as well. So the second card we have is speak up and speak out. Let your voice be heard loud and clear. All right, so I do feel as though, these signs or synchronicities for some of you that, when you are noticing those around you, that is kind of the universe trying to push you in the direction of standing up for yourself and saying what's on your mind rather than holding back. So I do feel as though there's certain times here, Taurus, during February where, that there's it's that moment where you go to say something and then you stop yourself from saying it, and then all of a sudden, something happens right in front of your face that sort of trying to get your attention, and I feel like what it's trying to get your attention is to let it out, actually say what you're holding back there. I will get a couple of cards here for clarity and see if there's anything specific you need to be sort of keeping an eye out for. Quite a lot of the time, the messages I do hear a lot of people seeing as signs around them frequently are things like, butterflies or dragonflies, a certain, seeing a certain type of animal very frequently, or it's like it's not so much about what you're seeing a lot of the time, but it's the way that your attention is drawn to that particular thing every time you see it. It came up in one of the other readings in one of the recent all signs readings was like the example of like a certain color car. And like especially a color that you don't see very often, like like an orange car, for example. And every time you see an orange car, your brain sort of sees it. You actually see it, whereas hundreds of cars might be driving past you and you pay no attention to those cars, but the orange one, your mind flags on that because it's very, it's unique, it's different to all the other ones around it. So your mind pays a little bit more attention to the things that stand out, and especially too, things sometimes stand out for people differently to the way that they would stand out for others. Like for me, it's the colors of cars, because I'm not really, a huge car person, but you may be a car person, so it may be a specific type of car that stands out for you specifically. So especially these days, I feel like I see a lot of things in America about, people paying attention when those new Tesla trucks, they see them in traffic, and it kind of really stands out to them. So it might be things like that. I don't know why I keep going back to this example of cars for a lot of people here, but we'll have a look here. Taurus, what are the signs Taurus should keep an eye out for? Time and money. Time and money, Taurus. We have the clockwork there, which is sort of my divine timing card. We also have the fish, which is, the card of money, of abundance. So I do feel like for a lot of you that is money. That it's kind of like you hold back from saying something, and then you almost trip over and notice like a coin on the street, and you're like, oh, I'll pick that up, and it's kind of like a physical message to you to speak. The universe is paying you dividends. Speak, open your mouth. Don't hold back, Taurus. I also feel with the time, it might be things like, every time you hold back and you don't say anything, like somebody's alarm goes off, you hear a clock tower start dinging the hour, things like that, things to do with time. You might just hear like a ticking in your head or something like that. Or someone's Apple Watch pops up with a message or something. So it's just random little signs like that. For some reason, it may be, even the phrase time, time is money for some of you. Every time it's all about you needing to let yourself be heard. You've got good ideas. You've got good opinions. You shouldn't be afraid to not to express those. You go ahead and express them. If somebody reacts to them badly, well, then that's an opportunity to grow and learn more about each other and each other's opinions, and work through that conflict and find some sort of middle ground. It's not the end of the world if somebody disagrees with you. So and for some of you, there may be the need to speak quite loudly here as well. So you're making sure your voice is heard. Some of you, it's like you're, I'm even feeling that for a couple of you, there might be something like going along to like a protest or something this month coming through for you here, Taurus. So, like, it's like, or there's also something coming through about that. There's the phrase coming through, screaming your name from the rooftops, or screaming my love from the rooftops, or something like that. It's kind of like giving that romantic movie kind of cliche where they, go up to the rooftop and they release. Okay, Taurus. What's going on for Taurus in February 2025? Start, middle, and end of February for Taurus. Seeing this energy for a few people so far for February. So we have the perseverance energy starting the month off strong for you here, Taurus. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. So I feel like for a lot of you, this is about that, standing up for myself and speaking my mind and, speaking my truth, not hiding that light inside me, actually sharing that with the world by, showing them, telling them what I believe, who I am, standing up for, somebody else, even for a lot of you here as well. Like I said, I am getting that protest type of energy that, it's probably a lot easier for you, Taurus, to, use your voice to protect somebody else rather than using your voice to protect yourself, to be honest here. But, perseverance, it's okay to fall down as long as you get back up and keep on going. As long as you get back up and keep on going, you will get there, okay? Just keep on persevering. Let that little light of determination shine on through, making sure you are setting your mind to things this month. Since, it does say, I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. So I'm just picking up this energy here of, at the start of February, actually setting your mind on certain things that you want to achieve this month, no matter how big or small those things are. You may have some specific goals you're wanting to achieve at work. It may be something like, I'm going to persevere with actually approaching the boss and asking for that promotion. I know that I deserve that promotion. I'm going to actually, persevere in trying to, organize that and speaking up for myself and look, I deserve this promotion. when am I getting my promotion? You know, speaking up for yourself, it could actually result in some really good stuff for you here. Especially with the middle of the month, we do have happiness shining on through there. I am aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path, so that it's okay to feel happy. You know, we don't have to live our lives in misery. Life is a constant roller coaster of all emotions, and so take those highs when you get them. Okay, Taurus. It does feel pretty simplistic, this initial message here, but I do just want to clarify that happiness energy, and see if we can get a little bit of info about that, because who doesn't want a bit of extra happiness in their life? And it feels like, if that's going to be something prominent for you in February, let's see what we can find out about that. The interesting thing, that is for the middle of February as well. So I'm just picking up that for some of you, the reason for the happiness is Valentine's Day. Okay, but not all of you. Not all of you. I feel like for some of you, it's actually happiness in Valentine's Day, not because you're having a connection with somebody, but you're like, oh, geez, I'm happy I don't have to worry about the whole Valentine's Day thing. Like, not going to lie, that's a little bit my energy coming through there as well, Taurus, but it's like, I don't have to buy a gift for anyone other than myself. If I want a gift, I'll just get what I want. And at least, I know I'm not going to be disappointed in the gift, because I know it's something that I actually wanted and whatnot. So I don't have to have, I don't have to put expectations on somebody around this whole, Valentine's Day materialism push. Clarify the happiness energy for Taurus in the middle of February here. What are the blessings for Taurus in February, please? So yeah, definitely some blessed relationships here, I feel, for you around the middle of February here, as your biggest blessings, as the reason for that happiness. We do have, firstly, these two came out together. We have the dog and the cross. So loyalty, friendship. I don't. For some of you, this is more than just friendship, but it's the loyalty, somebody that you can depend on. They offer you support and companionship, and compassion and understanding. It's a very destined connection. Okay. There may be at times a sense of responsibility, maybe feeling duty to this person, but I feel like that's got to do with that speaking up for yourself thing, that sometimes you actually just need to speak up for what you need in that connection as well. Like when you do need that support, that you can actually speak up and ask for that support from this person, because it's coming through as a very strong loyalty, compassionate relationship there, like friendship for a lot of you. And it could be like a friendship that is just a part of the connection there, but there's a strong connection there, a lot of loyalty for each other. Very like destined energy, very like destiny kind of energy, having faith that everything will be okay. For some of you too, that is an actual dog, and having faith that everything will be okay. So I feel like that might be for my sister person, like, to be honest, like I don't know whether there may be more people in the collective that's relevant to, and that will resonate for, but I am aware that one of my sister's dogs does have some health issues, so I feel like that's her little message to her, to let her know, have faith that everything will be okay. There's a reason for happiness there. Just be happy spending the time with that cute little papa. We also have the stork here, which has come through with the ring and the flowers. Okay, so the ring is actually your energy, Taurus, but it does talk about, probably a very romantic relationship here with the flowers alongside that. But with the stork there, we do see, some things getting stirred up in a positive way, some new ideas on how we want to give and receive in this connection, which I feel like once again is referring back to that speaking up, speaking out. So making sure that your voice is heard in the connection and that you are receiving just as much as you're giving within this connection. So you are maybe coming up with some new ideas on ways to, make sure things are, equal and reciprocal between yourself and whoever this, connection is with. The stork is the card for Aries as well. So some of you might be on the cusp um, or dealing with an Aries even, or someone has some Aries placements there. It can also just refer, I am just picking up the Aries energy. I feel like for a lot of you, it may just refer to a little bit of passion in the giving. Okay, because this is definitely, it definitely could be getting your bunch of flowers for Valentine's Day, whether it's from you yourself or from, someone that you're in a connection with. You just do seem to have some really nice, strong relationships around the middle of February here, and things stirring up and, positive changes in those connections where, it is becoming more equal, give and take. Even if it seems very equal already, it's really just balancing everything out nicely in those relationships for you, which is, positive. We love that. Okay, I do feel the need to mention here as well that the stork is actually the pregnancy card as well. So some of you, we know Valentine's Day is one of those days where quite a lot of babies are conceived. So there's a couple of you where that may be the case. So if that's not what you're after, be aware of that. We also have for the end of February here, we actually do have the regret energy coming through. So we definitely will clarify that. It says, I know that I cannot change the past. Just trying to get a sense of timing on that one as to how far in the past is this regret from. Clarify the regret energy for the end of February for our Taurus. I do feel like for some of you, it's just kind of a little bit of a, it's not so much like the closest word I can think of is warning, all right? It's not really that heavy though, that if you don't speak up for yourself, that you will kind of regret it because, you'll get trodden on. Stepped on, so making sure we do stand up for ourselves and speak out for ourselves because, we don't want to be left with a feeling of regret for not doing so. Clarify this regret energy for Taurus at the end of February. What's the timing? What's the timing on that? What's the timing on that? And can you be more specific, please? Okay, so it was probably a longer time ago. I kind of feel like, even though it's not coming up as a pattern, I do feel as though to you, Taurus, it may feel like a little bit of a pattern. Because when I've asked for a little bit, be a bit more specific and give me some timing ideas, we have the moon and the lily have both come out. So straight away, they both talk about things that we're still holding on to emotionally, things that, we're a bit sensitive to emotionally, vulnerabilities, those sorts of things. And the lily is a long-term card. So I do feel as though this is something that maybe has been, it may have triggered your emotions. Like it does feel like a pattern of something that, it's an emotion that you haven't really fully been able to express or deal with it. Maybe it just feels like it might, come back around every now and then. This comes back around for you, Taurus, and makes you feel, a sense of regret that you can't change how things have been in the past. And I feel like there's a big part of you that knows that you were not the one who would have been able to change the past anyway. So I do feel as though it's something that is kind of someone else's responsibility in the past, but you are holding on to some regret for it. Maybe more so because of the way that, you haven't dealt with it fully. So maybe speaking up and speaking out to yourself as well about, look, Taurus, this keeps popping back up. It's going to keep popping back up until I actually face it and deal with it. Okay, so what it is, this regret is, we have the maze. So it's confusion. It's feeling lost, and I don't know where to go. I'm feeling a bit trapped here. Like, I don't know how to find my center, because it feels like it's something more that has it. Like I said, something that's coming back around again, but it feels like it's impacting you deeply, emotionally, and it makes you in this fox energy where you feel like you can't trust anyone. Makes you feel like you don't know who to trust, and that you regret not asking for help, because when we're in that fox energy, we feel like we have to do whatever we have to do just for our own selves, to burrow our way out all by ourselves, instead of just stopping and asking for directions. Instead of stopping and asking for help, we try to be very independent, and we try to be logical rather than making decisions with our emotions, which I feel like that's been the issue for you in the past here, Taurus, is that as soon as those emotions pop back up, you really go, oh, that's it, I've got to be really logical about this issue, and push those emotions back down. So that's why you're not actually dealing with it, because you're pushing those emotions back down, and you're trying to deal with it in a logical way, where you keep saying to yourself, it's in the past, I've got to let it go. But you can't let it go, because you haven't actually dealt with the emotions that it's brought up within you. We do see the anchor there as well. So you are a little bit stuck on this. I feel like for a lot of you, it's something that maybe happened around your childhood. Maybe not actual child, but like teenagery, young adult, I'm getting more than anything. So I'm looking at those cards, right? And I'm seeing 14 as the lowest number. And then I'm seeing like a bunch of numbers all in the 30s. So I feel like for those of you where this is most relevant, or you may have had it popping back up, like it may have, something that happened when around 14. And it just keeps every time, like it keeps popping up. And like it seems like as soon as you hit your 30s, it pop back up and pop back up and pop back up again. And you're like, this is something like, why is this bothering me? This happened so long ago. But it is showing me these cycles, and so it's showing me, look. So I don't know your age, obviously, Taurus, but I'm feeling that for a lot of you, you are in your 30s. And it is kind of telling me that, it's popping up and up and up in your 30s. Like every now and then it just pops back up again. Like it's like when you hit 30, something else happened in your life that, broke the floodgates to this regret popping back up. And it's regret over not dealing with the emotional side of something from, you've tried to deal with it logically rather than actually dealing with the emotions connected to that. So you with the lily there, it may be advisable to seek a professional kind of help or something. Like I know that that's not really feasible for everybody, but like there's helplines you can call and things like that. And so maybe just talking it out with someone will really actually just help you release those emotions, or at least face them and understand them a little bit more, so that you can actually start to move through them a little bit more there. Set some time aside to have a bit of a sook about it and whatever. Love and romance for our Taurus in February. Love and romance for Taurus in February. These cards are like shocking to shuffle. Taurus, love and romance for Taurus in February, please. I've seen a few of these energies for um, quite a few signs this month. Firstly, I'm seeing back and forth, which it feels very similar to that maze card that we saw. So I feel like this is referring to that loop, and it's affecting your. It's not so much that it's affecting your love life; it's just affecting the way that you love and the way that you give and receive love. So you're kind of going back and forth with this thing coming back around on a loop, and you're going back and forth about all these emotions. Oh, quick, blot them out. Try to deal with this rationally. So you're going over here, over here. Changing your mind or being confused emotionally, flighty and uncertainty. So I feel like that's kind of referring to that there, Taurus. And once again, this is that fox energy. All right. So we just saw those cards there. That back and forth energy is kind of referring to that maze energy. And then the next card that was after the maze was that fox. And here we have this rambling rose card, which is growing apart or getting some space to think, evolving and outsiders. So I feel like that's why, it's like you retreat. You retreat into, I've got to sort this out all by myself. I've got to do it all independently. I can't ask anyone else for help. I've got to, spend some time to myself to work all this out. You don't need to. With that strong connection we're seeing for you, speak up. Speak up. Tell this person, look, I need some support. I'm going through this. This is what's, it keeps popping up for me, and I don't know why. Like, I'm having trouble dealing with it, and these are the emotions, and this is the thing, and these are the emotions, and is there something that you can maybe just show me a different way to look at that, so that I can actually maybe process it a little bit differently. Keep pedaling. So that maybe that's the type of car, is it, that you're seeing around, is it? Move ahead despite any obstacles that arise. Venture, exploring, and forging new paths. So just keep pedaling. All right. I said it in one of the other readings yesterday for the fire signs, but that it's like that out of Finding Nemo. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. And I had someone commenting on the video saying, "It's okay, I speak whale." I like, gotta love the classics, yeah. Endless love for you here as well, Taurus. So ending on a high note here. This could be the one you waited to love forever. Engaged, wedding, and commitment. So it doesn't necessarily mean that we're actually, getting engaged or, official weddings or anything like that. Although, it definitely could. We did see your card there, the ring popping out earlier. But it just shows us that this person, they love you endlessly. It's an unconditional type of love. You're really balancing it and strengthening that connection this month, and you really can rely on them more than you're allowing yourself to. So make sure you do speak up for yourself this month, Taurus. So that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all again soon.